Welcome to Dungeon Academics. My name is Thomas and I will be your instructor. I played a board game new to me last night and it highlighted a discussion point that I've brought up many times, so I'd like to bring it up again. As a parent with a couple of young children, I've got 3, 13, 7 and 5 at the moment. My 2 younger kids love playing children's board games. We have a big selection and we got a couple of hand-me-downs from some friends of the family. So thank you, Klaus and Nina. We got Monopoly Junior. Now, I have played adult Monopoly. Sounds quite rude. Grown-up Monopoly plenty of times, but this was my first time playing the junior version. It is essentially a stripped-down version of the complete game. And my classification, my criteria for grading board games when I play them with my children is very simple. If my kids enjoyed it, it's a good board game. It's that simple. So on that metric, it's a good board game. By any other metric, it's terrible. But I'd like to talk about why. I played 3 games of it in less than an hour. 2 of them were just 2 players, myself and my middle son. And in the 3rd game, my wife joined in as well. And when my wife came to join us, I asked her which playing piece she wanted to use, because you get 4. You get the little Scotty dog, you get the T-Rex, you get the penguin, and you get a rubber ducky. But my son Alex had claimed the rubber ducky, and my wife chose the penguin. And I said, just remember this moment. And then after about 15 minutes, the game had ended, and I asked my wife how many decisions she had to make during that game. And she looked at me and she said, none. I said, well, you chose to play the penguin. And she said, yes. That was literally the only decision she had to make during the entire game. The board is smaller, and one of the rules is that when you land on a property, you have to buy it. And if at any point you have to do something and you don't have the money, you're bankrupt. And as soon as one player becomes bankrupt, the player with the most money wins. That is the one rule I really like about Monopoly, Junior Monopoly, because it makes the game shorter. Grown-up Monopoly can last for a long time with all but 2 players bankrupt and some sort of duopoly forming where one person can't make the other one go bankrupt. This one ends as soon as the first person goes bankrupt, which is good. There's no houses. Once you land on a property, you have to buy it. It becomes yours, and anyone else that lands on it has to pay you the rent. The rent is doubled if you have both of the same color. There's only 2 properties of each color. The money system is simplified. Properties cost 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 Monopoly bucks each. So all the notes are 1 Monopoly buck, which was a real hassle because it was very flimsy paper stock, and counting out 20 of them at the start of the game is quite fiddly, but it's a simple game. Occasionally you might get a chance card and it says you can advance to a property of this color, and if it's available, you get it for free. Or you might advance to this specific property, and if it's available, you have to buy it. That's literally the only time you get to make a choice in the game. The chance card says, if it says move to I think I had one that said it moved to a light blue or a red property, and if it's available, buy it. Well, I could see which of the properties were available, if any of them were, and then land on the one that was available. But that brings up a question. If there's only one property available, of course you're going to land on it. If there's a property that's already been bought and one that's available, why would you ever choose to land on a property that's already bought, forcing you to pay rent, when you could land on another one and get it for free? That's what I'd like to call a stupid choice. There is a choice, but the options are stupid. Of course, this is the best option. There is, unless you're deliberately trying to sabotage the game and make it end quicker, which I think even my kids would notice, so I wouldn't do that. Plus, it's kind of anti-ethical as well to deliberately throw a game. But the game presents you with choices that are stupid choices. It's not the case that one choice might be better and one choice might be worse, and you have to work out which one is which. The issue is that literally one option is stupid and the other option is good. So this game offers you very few choices, and when it does offer you a choice, the choice is, it can be it's a stupid choice. Of course you'd pick this one. Now, what if you're forced to move to, let's say, a yellow property and neither of them have been purchased? Well, then it's not a stupid choice, but then it's a blind choice, because there's no differentiation between the two. It doesn't matter which one you pick. It's entirely random as to whether someone's going to land on it. I'm trying to think of a situation. Okay. Let's say you had a choice between moving to a light blue property and a red property, and the other player is currently on yellows. Sorry, this is cancel that. Let's say you had a choice between light blue and yellow, and the other player is currently on the red properties. That means they've already passed the light blue ones and they won't have a chance to land on it and pay rent for a while. But on the other hand, if they land here on the yellows, they'll pay you rent. So choosing the yellow then would be a sensible choice. In that situation, there is a sensible choice to make. That's great. I like that. But a lot of the time, you don't have that setup. There is no rationale for which option is better. It's pick one of these two, and it's random as to whether it's better or not. That's what I call a blind choice. So in games, you can have stupid choices, which are do something good or do something bad. I don't like stupid choices. You can have blind choices, pick option A or pick option B, and you have no idea which one is going to be better. And then you have meaningful choices. Choose option A or choose option B, and there are circumstances in which option A would be better and circumstances in which option B would be better. You have to look at what circumstance you're in and make the decision based on that. Games where you have these meaningful choices are the better game. If you have no choices at all, it isn't a game, it's an exercise. Snakes and ladders, or shoots and ladders as it's called in America, is that really a game, or is it an exercise in rolling dice and moving a piece? You do not make any choices in that game. So I would say it doesn't count as a game. It's practice, it's homework, it's an exercise in following rules, but it's not a game. Monopoly Junior is barely a game. It has rules, it has a winner and a loser, and it has an activity, but it has so few choices that I'm not sure if it really should be classified as a game at all. Anyway, I've talked about Monopoly extensively. I used to do a board games podcast with a couple of friends called SideQuest Source. That was great fun. We ragged on Monopoly a lot. It was not a board game any of us enjoyed. And I've talked about choices a lot. I'll particularly recommend my Great Weapon Mystery video for my fully produced videos. I think it's one of the first ones I made, and I'm still very proud of that one. I talk about the importance of adding meaningful choice and how we can classify choices as being good choices or bad choices. Not the options that are available, but whether the choices themselves are useful. And trying to maximize player choice is always a goal in designing a game or a role-play game. Giving your players meaningful choices that have an impact on the outcome. There's no obvious best answer. leads to better gameplay and better gameplay experiences. So Monopoly Junior could have learnt a lot from basic gameplay rules, but my kids enjoy it, and that's all that matters to me. So enjoy your next game, whatever it may be, even if it's Monopoly Junior.